What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys will help us get there. Alright, so Season 3, Episode 6 of American Gods was pretty good for the most part. I have thought that the last two episodes were a little bit lacking. But overall, I've enjoyed this show this season. I just felt like the last two episodes maybe could have given us more action. I kind of feel like, it's like a game of chess where you have all the chess pieces going in all the different directions. And the most powerful chess pieces are in kind of like on the side. They're not really playing a big role in what is going on story-wise right now. And I kind of feel like this show's kind of missing the ball when it comes to, especially Mr. Wednesday. I kind of feel like, him being in that mental institution, maybe he could have, I guess I expected a little bit more hijinks from him. And that's something we haven't got so far. So I kind of feel like his story kind of been lacking a little bit. Has really hurt this season or these last two episodes. I kind of feel like Shadow Moon kind of going all over the place, but not really having a mission. I hated that thing from the last episode where they're spies and things like that. I thought that was really stupid. In this episode really wasn't that much different for him. There was some moments where I just kind of felt like his character was just a little bit off. And I didn't really enjoy that aspect of it. Ricky Whittle is a really good actor. And for him to kind of be off a little bit, it's mind-blowing to a certain extent. But it feels like his emotions are off. It feels like the way he portrays himself is just a tad bit off. He either gets too excited or too frightened or too something. His character is at its best when he is centered. And, people are being antagonistic to him, but he's keeping his calm. That's where his character, Shadow Moon, is at its best. And I kind of feel like in this episode, even when he gets frightened by Marguerite, I kind of felt like, he just kind of played that a little bit too much. But there was a few scenes with Shadow Moon that I was like, ooh, he either played it too strong or too little. But that kind of happened throughout the whole episode. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed by that. But let me just go ahead and get into the episode. Last week I complained about how, the intro wasn't as good as former intros when it comes to this series, when it comes to the gods, and kind of showing how that they came to America. I didn't enjoy last week's, but I did enjoy this week's. The young Odin and Tyr. I would have enjoyed a whole episode with the two of them. It was really cool getting to kind of see them in a younger state and kind of getting to see the younger version of Odin and getting to actually see where Tyr's fascination with teeth actually come from. Apparently it's not something that just happened being a dentist. This has always been something that was Tyr's, hobby, I guess you could say. Weird, strange hobby. But I did enjoy seeing their relationship, their friendship, and just how basically a woman come in between them, Demeter. And I would have loved to have got to see a little bit more, like I said, a whole episode of just those three telling the story of what exactly went on. Because, yes, we did get to see a little bit of it within the play that Mr. Wednesday put on. But I kind of felt like we could have maybe saw just a little bit more of it. And it would have made for a great episode if it would have been that. We did have one of those a couple seasons back with Mad Sweeney, and that was actually one of my favorite episodes of all of this of American Gods. But unfortunately, it don't look like we're gonna get that this year, and I understand that because this season is kind of winding down, so I understand why they're not wanting to have these standalone episodes where that it's just about kind of exploring the background between all of these characters. So I get it, but I am a little bit disappointed we haven't got to see more because there's only so much flashbacks or dialogue can tell you. I wanted, it's comes a time where you kind of might need a whole episode to kind of flesh some things out. But overall, I did enjoy their scenes. I did enjoy young Odin and young Tears and young Demeter's scenes. A lot of it was heartbreaking. It was literally heartbreaking how we got to see basically how a weakened version of Mr. Wednesday. One where he is heartbroken. Truly, it seems like heartbroken. And that was, I don't know, that was so off to me because I was just like, I never know when he is trying to play something up or when he's being serious and he's sincerely hurt. But I think that was one moment when he was talking about burying his daughter and how he wasn't able to handle that situation. I could, that to me felt real. Felt real. And then, of course, you have Demeter on the others, when they're talking through the door, Mr. Wednesday and Demeter. And they're talking about that situation. And, Demeter says, it was easier for her to hate him for leaving than it was to mourn her daughter. And she says, well, I've never really, even to this day, mourned her properly, at least. And I thought that was just heartbreaking in itself. I've loved this season when it comes to Demeter and Mr. Wednesday. I just feel like those two are, I don't know, they could make this show on their own. I feel like they are, I don't know if they're great, well, I do believe that they are a great actor and actress, but I don't know if it's necessarily that or just the chemistry between the two. Like, it seems like these two people could be sitting on a stage and just talking about the weather, and it would be interesting. Like, it just feels that way. It feels like they have so much chemistry that, that you would watch them over anything. At least I would. I would I would watch any dialogue over anything with these two talking because I just feel like there's a connection, a real sincere connection between the two. And I tell you, they play it out perfectly in the show. I'm glad to see a little bit of emotion from Wednesday. That's something. He's almost kind of like a trickster goddess. He's almost like a Loki in that regard. In that he's always playing people at all times. So for him to kind of let his guard down with her a little bit, and almost kind of get played himself because, there's times where he just looks outmatched when compared to Demeter because it feels like she's got a part of his heart that he just cannot, he just can't control that situation. No matter what he says or what he does, she's got him in a defensive mode. A mode where he's having to flee a little bit. And that's so weird because, for the last 2 seasons, we've seen everybody be on the other side with Wednesday. So it's kind of good to see the human side of Wednesday, at least in that regard. Or the humanity, I guess, within him. Because that's something we don't get to see often with him that is sincere. And this actually kind of does feel sincere with him. Overall, I enjoyed the play that went on. I do wish that there would be a little bit more, like I said, backstory. But besides that, I don't really, if they're not going to make a whole episode relating to what happened between Tyr, Odin, and Demeter, and about their, Demeter and Odin's son, I don't. Um, I I wish that they would have just done more flashbacks, and if they weren't going to do that, I almost feel like they should have just had it just dialogue. That's the way I felt in that regard. Even though I did enjoy the scenes, I felt like there just wasn't enough of those flashbacks to really give a good impression, or for me to feel heartbroken with what exactly happened to them. But overall, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed this story arc so far. When it comes to that, I knew she wasn't going to go with him. As much as he might actually love her, he loves the war more, which shouldn't shock her, and I don't think it does. I think she knows that he loves her, but that he'll never change, so she's not going to even bother with it. And I feel like that if there's anything that's actually heartbroken, I almost feel like it's that. I'll tell you what it reminds me of. It reminds me of Ragnar and Lagertha on Vikings, where Lagertha was, they had their 2 kids together. She was happy, and he wanted sons, and that was all he could see was the sons. And of course, once he got it, he ended up losing her. And then there's that one scene towards the end of his life where he says, "Sometimes I wish I would have just stayed on the farm." And that was a real powerful moment in that show. And I feel like it's almost that in American Gods with Wednesday and Demeter, where you just feel like Wednesday, as much as he loves war and he, he's concerned about specific things regarding it, there's still a part of him that I think wishes that he could have enjoyed a life just with her, and he would have been happy maybe with just her. But unfortunately, that's not what life did for them. So, I mean, and it's so strange, they're gods, but yet they couldn't even save their own daughter. Which brings up exactly what happened to their daughter. I would love to know what actually led to her death. Because, like I said, they are gods. Like, how does that exactly happen? I know that Wednesday had already lost a son through suicide, but I didn't really know that they died in childbirth and different things like that. I didn't know that was a thing for the American gods basically. But I thought it was still it was still a pretty sad moment. But yeah, overall, I mean, one character that was a side character that I did enjoy this episode, even though they didn't give him a whole lot of scenes, was Hank, the employee that works at that mental institution that was taking love advice from Wednesday. I thought it was funny. He had that one moment where Wednesday's trying to tell him how to what to say to that other employee that works there, that the two were having this flirtatious moment. And so Wednesday's telling him what to say and what to do, and the guy's like, when you come in here, Demeter slaps you, so exactly why should I take any advice from somebody that really doesn't seem like they're getting anywheres with the woman that they love? So why should I take their advice about the woman that I love? It was a funny moment. I really actually did enjoy that that scene. It actually did make me laugh. That was probably one of the better parts of this whole episode. Um, but I'll tell you, one of the worst moments of this episode were Shadow Moon and Laura's uh, two scenes together. Those two characters have no chemistry whatsoever. They have none. None whatsoever. Their love that was at the beginning of American Gods just seems like such a distant past that it's almost like those aren't the exact same characters anymore. Like, it feels like it's been that long. So much has transpired. And I feel like um, because so much has transpired, um, there's there's no connection between the two. There's no connection even between actor and actress anymore. You know, I was hoping that there would be a moment where Shadow Moon would look at her and say, um, "Why are you wanting to kill Wednesday? What is the real reason you're wanting to kill Wednesday?" Where that maybe she would have to do a little bit self-reflection of being like, wow, I'm not wanting to kill him for what he did to me. I'm wanting to kill him for, killing Mad Sweeney, or resulting in the death of Mad Sweeney. I really, I really think that would have been a powerful moment, and I felt like that was kind of a moment that was passed up on a little bit too easy. It was passed up on to create like this really weird love triangle between Marguerite, Shadow Moon, and Laura Moon, and that was kind of a waste of a scene for me because there's obviously no chance that Laura and Shadow Moon are going to get back in the near future. It's clear that Shadow Moon and Marguerite really have feelings for each other. So, like, I didn't really buy into that notion very well. I didn't really enjoy that scene at all. But I just didn't enjoy Laura and Shadow Moon's scenes together. I felt like it was really lacking energy. I felt like it was a missed opportunity where that Laura could have maybe come to the realization that she was actually in love with Mad Sweeney. And that was the reason why she wanted to kill Wednesday. Not because of what he did to her, or not because of what he did to Shadow Moon, but because of what he did to Mad Sweeney. But yeah, I mean, that, and I will say another good part of this episode, I'm kind of going back and forth of good, bad, good, bad. I'm trying to remember all the little characters and all their little parts in this show. But I kind of feel like Technical Boy actually had a really good episode. Um, you know, he's struggling. He doesn't know what's going on to him. In every diagnostic that he goes through, tells him that it has to do with emotion. And emotion, him being computer, or at least it looks like he is, and full of data, he tells the computer that told him that he has no emotion. But yet, that's kind of shown to be a lie. He actually does have emotion, and the things that's going on around him are really getting to him. I thought Danny Trejo's Mr. World did I don't know, a good job, but then it was kind of a fakey job of telling, Technical Boy, oh, well, you were actually my favorite son. I love you, and I'm worried about you. And in all reality, Mr. World is no different than Wednesday, in that all they really care about is winning, and they don't really care who they have to hurt to be successful in the end. So, I mean, And I'll say this: Danny Trejo, out of the three Mr. and Mrs. World, I kind of feel like he's the less abrasive, which sounds very odd. Trejo usually is somebody that is, very abrasive, really arrogant, really violent, and but out of the three that we've seen so far of Mr. World, reincarnations, I guess, of Mr. World, or variations, I guess, of him, um, I feel like he's the most sensible one. Sensible in that he's going to try to talk things through instead of being violent. I kind of feel like, Mr. World was that way at first. Through the first two seasons, and I feel like Miss World is extremely, extremely violent. She's to the point that she's not even fun to watch because she's so violent. You know she's going to be violent. You know that's what she is. That's her go-to thing. And so yes, while I do enjoy the original Mr. World, will say Danny Trejo's Mr. World was it was interesting. It was really interesting. I thought. Let's see, what else did I miss? What else did I miss? Um, you know, I can't get over the fact that Shadow Moon, he was in Illinois. Now he's in Wisconsin. And then somehow he comes across Sam Blackcrow. That can't be a coincidence. There's something more to that story than what we know of. I kind of feel like that, she is sent there to watch him in some way. I don't think she's a malevolent being of whatever she is. I just believe she's sent there to watch him, to observe his actions, and to basically, decide for herself whether or not he's ally or enemy. But I thought her being Marguerite's stepsister was a little bit far-fetched, a little bit lame for my liking, but that it is what it is. I thought it was cheesy. I thought it was really unexplainable. I thought Shadow Moon would have more to say on it, but he seemed perfectly content with that. He met a girl in another state, and then just happens to be the sister of this other girl in this other state that he's messing with. Like, I just kind of feel like that's a needle in a haystack kind of like situation. And then it was one that just was kind of put out there that really didn't make that much sense, at least in my opinion. But even going back to some of these characters, I just feel like overall, there was some really good moments. I feel like there's some questions that I would love to know. I want to know what that artifact that Mr. World is holding. It looks like some sort of weapon. I don't know what exactly it would be. Maybe it was the first one. I don't know. But it seems to have some kind of bearing on the story. And then, of course, there was who was Mr. World talking to. I mean, it was somebody, obviously, that is very important. In fact, so important that Mr. World, that really I thought was going to be the main villain, the main antagonist, is taking orders from it. So, I mean, I'm curious as to see who it is. Hopefully, we'll get to see that in a future episode, at least by the end of the season. But, another good moment that was in here was Wednesday calling Tyr the Tooth Fairy. That was actually a laugh out loud moment. I really did enjoy that. That's kind of the dialogue that I actually enjoy. from this show. It's really smart. It's really engaging for the most part. But overall, I mean, while it is engaging and it's fun, there's still moments that it kind of leave me just scratching my head like, come on, like, what is that? But they usually follow it up by doing something really amazing and adding more depth to these characters. That's what a lot of this is known for, or what this show is really known for. And it's kind of what fans have come to expect with it, too. Um, I guess my last question, and let me know what y'all think in the comment section about this. Do you think that Laura really is going to work with Mr. World? Do you think Laura and Salim are really going to work with him in taking down the old gods? I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Sorry guys, it's late at night. I'm just trying to stay awake here in a lot of different ways. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of curious on whether or not Salim and Laura Moon are actually going to work with Mr. World. I hope they don't. But I actually could see Laura being spiteful enough to actually try to pull off something like that. But we'll just have to see if maybe Salim will be her conscience in that regard. But like I said, overall, I enjoy this episode. I didn't think it was one of the best, but I did enjoy it overall. I'm really looking forward to next week's episodes. But I'm definitely going to go back and watch this episode to see if I missed something. And if I have missed something, let me know y'all's opinions or what I missed down in the comments section. And I can't thank y'all enough for watching us here on Rants or Us. Y'all really helped our channel grow. And with growing and getting noticed more by YouTube, we are going to be able to pump out better content in the future. So, as always, guys, if y'all do enjoy our content, please leave a like and please hit that subscribe button, to help us give y'all better content in the future and to help us get more noticed by YouTube later on so that we could be successful in bringing y'all the content that y'all deserve and the content that y'all want. And as always, if y'all have a video request, just let us know. And, let me know what y'all think about this episode of American Gods in the comment section. And as always, guys, thank y'all for watching and take care.